Thank you and welcome everyone. I have seen that you are joining from so many jurisdictions and we are here for this mission. We are here to explore whether another stack is possible. But the most important question to ask ourselves today is to step out of the techie world. We sometimes live in this small bubble of people who understand tech deeply and understand the problems, the social problems at the core of tech. But then we go with our utopia to other communities and tell them, okay, it's a different way of doing things, and here is the solution that I have for you. We want to turn the tables today and ask people, what do they want? What do they expect from technology? What is the technology that they need to do their very important work? What is the technology that will stick to them? And what is the technology that it makes sense? It makes sense to keep, and it makes sense to incorporate in our work, and that we can trust and rely on. And I have a very, very, very silly example. And Lucas, if you can share the image that I was showing to the team. I was thinking of how to visualize it and to explain what do we mean with the tech we want. And I found an image that I haven't even fact check it, but it represents to a great extent what we are talking about. It's coming in a second.
Yes, it's been uploaded. 1 second.
One of the things, when we are using tools like Button, sometimes things take longer and are like with some frictions. But one of the things that we are also going to discuss today is that does it really matter in adopting that millisecond? And that's half a minute that sometimes we don't have the optimal or the most efficient. Sometimes it's a space for reflecting, stopping, standing up for a cup of coffee. Sometimes technologies that are not super fast invite us to think outside the screens. So it's coming. So this is the very silly image that I wanted to share with you. So when we are talking about the tech people want here, we are not thinking about the super sophisticated systems that will teletransport us from place A to B. We're thinking about that. We want to deliver at the Open Knowledge Foundation things that work and things that last, things that make sense and make our lives easier, things that we can scale and adopt locally and globally without spending a fortune. We are trying to think about what will be like the pens and the hairpins and the tools that could at the same time, connect to ends or write poetry or make and as you are mentioning, Diego, the bicycle. We want to create the technological bicycles so to move forward together, being conscious with our environment and being inclusive and being affordable and accessible for everyone. So this is the spirit of this meeting, and it wouldn't be possible without the generous time of many of you invested in this. I wanted to thank our partners. There's so many that have collaborated. We know how constrained is civil society and projects in following this logic all over the world. So we want to especially thank people putting aside communications time, putting aside time to prepare for a talk. We are very resource constrained, but resourceful in ideas organizations. So we know that we cannot reciprocate with, speaking fees or goodies in a bag, but what we want is to show our gratitude and appreciation, trying to amplify your messages and your work through this summit. And apart from that, just thank you so much. We will try to make this content accessible in other languages. If you, of course, all it will be shared afterwards. And welcome to the conversation. I hope that we have interesting debates today. And over to Patricio, who will tell us a little bit more about this.
Thank you, Renata. Hello, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here as well. Quick introduction. My name is Patricio del Boca, currently working as the tech lead of the Open Knowledge Foundation and as a part of the team of the Tech We Want project. I'm going to explain a little bit more the context of the Tech We Want project, and also to give a little bit of like base for like the debate, things that we can like talk and keep in our minds for the rest of the day, today and tomorrow, while we discuss to build the technology that we want. The Tech We Want is an initiative that to create an honest and open discussion around the current state of technology. It is an initiative to talk about like the tech we want to build, but also the tech we want to use. As Renata mentioned at the beginning, it's not only a discussion about like the geek elements of the technology, but also it started that way, but also then we realize, okay, but what is also like the tech that people want to use besides like what we want to build. It is an initiative that borns from the frustration about how complex, expensive, unsustainable modern tech development has become. A little bit like from my personal experience, I mean, for me, it's like extremely annoying that to build just like a simple complex for like a simple municipality, for a small city, for a small nonprofit organization, you need to rely on the same tech stack that Facebook or Netflix or like Airbnb has. And you say, why? I mean, my website is going to receive like maybe like 100 visits a day, which is like enough for like the problem that I'm trying to solve. Why I need to go for that stacks of technologies that are created to solve like millions of people are using it at the same time. So, I mean, we ended up in the Open Knowledge Foundation finding ourselves like in this mix of technology, super complex for like problems that really don't require that thing. So I don't know, for example, nowadays, like the world has like cables infrastructures mapping the whole world with fiber optic technology that allows my phone to connect with the web server of my bank sitting on the opposite side of the planet in milliseconds. So yeah, I try to access like the web page of my bank in milliseconds. I can connect with fiber optic, but somehow logging into my home banking application takes 5 seconds. So I don't know, there's something in how we are building technology nowadays that is not working. It's not working properly. We have technology to travel all around the world and knock on doors in like milliseconds, but somehow like what are we building takes like forever. So opening a website nowadays, it requires more computing power than flying Apollo 11 to the moon. In the last 60 years, like computing power have grown exponentially, literally exponentially, but also computing resources have grown like never before. But access to technology has not become exponentially more affordable. I mean, yes, we have more technology around, but it's not as exponentially more affordable as exponentially it has become available. Quite the opposite. Sometimes it's like really difficult for countries in like in the global south or small teams to access the technologies or to compete in the global markets. So yeah, something happened in the last 30 years that broke the ideal of a reliant, accessible, and affordable World Wide Web. And the Tech We Want is an initiative to talk about it. We want technology to be open, to be affordable, to be simple, sustainable, and last long. That's our vision. We want our digital world, our digital infrastructure to resemble a physical infrastructure. And that's why like I really love like the image that Renata shared. Because we don't want to reveal our websites and our digital infrastructure every 2 years because the framework has become obsolete or because there is a new shiny tool. I mean, no one expects a city to replace the bridge crossing a river every 5 years. So why we expect like critical system and critical digital infrastructure to be renewed every 2 years or became obsolete after 3 years? So we do not want our critical infrastructure as well, we do not want our critical infrastructure, our communications, and our data to be in the hands of foreign big tech corporations. We want to be able to have tools to build technology that we can own and that can be us. We don't want our phones to become like a weapon of mass surveillance. We don't want the web to become a data collection monster with the single purpose of selling us data. We want simple technology focused on solving our real problems. And with that, I want to close with a comment to follow a little bit on what Renata mentioned. We know we are not alone, and we know that the tool we want already exists and it's already being developed, and there is a lot of people thinking on that. So what we need now as a collective, as a group of people, as a community, is to start promoting it. We need to start broadcasting it and to push it to become the new norm in how we address problems with technology. Our digital world should be open by design, and our community should be pushing for openness to be the new norm. Sometimes there is a misunderstanding that we are not good enough, or that the open solutions are not as good as the private sector, and that in order to replace the current proprietary solutions, we need to do the perfect everything, because the proprietary world is so perfect that if we have only one shot to change everything, and if we fail, then we're never going to be able to push for openness again. And that's a super misconception. The quality of open source is sometimes bigger than the quality of the private sector and proprietary solutions. Nowadays, open source is kind of everywhere, because it has proven that it's reliable, that it's last-longing, it's secure. So we need to get out of this mindset of private sectors and proprietary things are better, and what we are trying to build as a community is worse than that. No, it's not. Big tech is difficult, big tech is complex, and big tech is expensive. And we have better solutions than that. We have better communities, and we are more sustainable. So I think it's time to start being proud of what we have built as a community in the past years, and start pushing for it, and start broadcasting it, and start working towards more governments and more people to start using open technologies. Because on the other side, big tech and proprietary solutions are complex, are expensive, they require a lot of expertise. I mean, they are not happy. The users of private solutions, they are not happy either. So let's go out of the mindset that what we are trying to build is less quality, and let's push for a more open by design world. So yeah, welcome everyone. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, and I wanted to add something very important on complementary, and at the core of this specific summit, something that we learned the hard way, I would say, in Open Knowledge Foundation, is that it's open source and code is not enough. The moment we sat down together with the communities that we wanted, to serve, everything in our design, in our approaches, in our allocation of resources changed. Because by listening to people, by listening to what people want in a specific piece of technology, but really not just, the performative listening that big tech companies do, by surveilling us and surveilling our behavior, but by actually having a dialogue, an interaction, a meaningful interaction with the communities that we want to serve. Our technology transform into something simple, and transform into something that communities want to incorporate in their work. So what we want to learn here together today is precisely that. Why are we developing technology alone? Why aren't we inviting the communities that we hope to serve? Why aren't we, as Isabella was saying in the video, bringing more, but meaningfully, constantly bringing more people in the room to play with it, to think it together, and to explore different ways, different sustainable ways to build those bridges that are going to be there, in 300 years, hopefully, so, and that wouldn't make them obsolete, and that wouldn't make them also primitive. That would make them the pillars where we are going to build different societies and different digital spheres than the ones that we have today. That say, over to you, Lucas, so you can explain us more what is going to happen next.
Yes, thank you very much for your vision, the blue sky thinking that we just had now. Now I'm taking you to the floor and to what's happening today and tomorrow. My name is Lucas Pretti. I'm the Communications and Advocacy Director at the Open Knowledge Foundation. And I love to hear you actually before going into the structure of the day and so on, because this is very much of like a two-sided, like actually multiple-sided, but two-sided initiative that we are doing. First of all, we are trying to really preach with the example, right? Developing the tech we want in the Open Knowledge Foundation today, with like many apps and many initiatives we are having, and also we want to be vocal about it. And this is what this summit is about. We really want to bring people together, and we've been doing this for some months and maybe 1 year already, right? We had the first Tech We Want Summit in October 2024. Those pieces of the video you just saw are from the talks that happened there. So we hope that this summit today also give us great quotes and great discussions. It was really around critical thinking. It was really around self-criticism, but also like looking forward to what we can do together and not really only complain. So I think like the vibes of that summit is something that we really wanted to have again as a high energy sessions as well. After that first initiative that we first publicly talked about this, the tech we want, and used this hashtag, I think the movement is growing. We had 2 more interactions before today, when the first one we discussed elections and open elections, open technology after like the 2024 year, like full of elections. It was in January. And then at some point in March, we had a smaller summit around like the frictionless data community. It's one of the communities we maintain to discuss the future and adapt all the visions around the tech we want, which is our tech vision at the Open Knowledge Foundation today. And it brings us to today. So this is the second more massive summit, let's say, like so 2 full days of activities with 30 plus, I don't know how many, like 32, 33 speakers. And this is how it will be divided. If you see like the screen, I think all of you can see the screen with the program, right? So this morning in Europe, it's all in, the times are all in European time, just so you make sure you understand that, they don't get lost. So this morning we had a warm-up with this study launch. Why do people want open data? We just launched the Towards a Sustainable Data Ecosystem report. It was great. I heard that was great because I'm actually in the Global South, so I'm just waking up today now. So I didn't see this panel, but I heard from my colleagues. Now we are exactly in the opening remarks, the Tech We Want initiative. We have 5 more minutes into that slot, and then we'll just start the panel 1, building together simple tech for stronger communities. Each panel will have 1 hour and 20 minutes, and then followed by a 10-minute break before the other session. And this is something that is different from the first summit. We really wanted to give more time to the sessions that ended up being rushed in just 1 hour. So we want to make it more conversational, right? So it's great to see the chat with like lots of things, and I really want to encourage you all like to really write and really interact. We really want to make this a global conversation as it is actually, not only like speakers speaking, right? So panel 2 will start at 3:30 European time, and it will be focused on AI. We have like great, I won't list everyone now, because you can see in the program in our website and so on. Maybe we could like just put the link here as well for the program. Also in your calendar invitations. If you're here, you have a calendar invitation, right, for the summit, so you can check there. And then we are closing the day at 5 p.m. with a keynote, the cloud people want, which will tackle a really important thing, which is like the infrastructure, what's behind everything we see, right? Where are the servers? What is the cloud? And what is the cloud people want or should have? Quickly going into the second day, different from the first summit as well, we turned what we call demonstrations or demos that time to spotlight sessions in this summit. Instead of like going to products or solutions specifically, we are talking about initiatives, projects, programs, or broader initiatives than just one product. And that's happening because that's slightly the difference between the Tech We Want Summit, which was really introducing the vision and so on, and when we go to the Tech People Want, which is really focused on non-technical communities, users. Well, I think we hate the word users here because like we are not machines using things, we are people, and that's why we are using the Tech People Want. And this focus on non-technical things and the advocacy side of things, or to use Patricio's words, like broadcasting component of all this, we turn this into spotlight sessions, not really focused on products only. So we'll have 3 of them tomorrow, focus on specific topics. One is more broad around society, then climate sustainability, then community and organizing. I really encourage you to see the list of speakers and people who will be presenting. They're really great, high level, influential people in their fields. I'm really looking forward to that. And then we'll finalize next day with a final keynote, which promised to be a really great conversation around another network is possible. That's the title, but like around like other ways that the infrastructure of the internet can happen. You know, like being privacy oriented, through blockchain, through all the technologies that could lead us to the tech people want. Well, I think that's it regarding like the curating of the summit. I'm really excited that we are putting this together again, and I'll be your host or moderator for the entire 2 days. I'll be moderating most of the sessions, and that's why my name is not here as well. Like I'm officially Open Knowledge Foundation, but if you see Open Knowledge Foundation commenting also or so on, this is me. So I think over to you, Renata. You can close the panel, and then we can start the next one. I'll just make sure that the speakers are coming. Thank you.
Well, I don't have much to say, but just expressing my gratitude. It is amazing to be around all of you, and just to encourage you to, as the conversation unfolds, please share questions. Please share links to your work. We will love to amplify it. Please disagree. We invite disagreement here and ask the difficult questions. I think that we are like in a very trusted, caring community here, and we need to really unpack the things that if our argument is weak, is better that you and not someone on the other side of big tech ask the difficult questions, so we can work better in our arguments. And also we are aware that you might not be able to stay the whole summit, but recordings will be available to all of you. And if you have a minute of two to localize part of the good bits of the conversation in your local language that might not be accessible to many, that's always brilliant. That said, just let's get it started, and thank you so much.